Hi, I guess it's 4:30, so I should probably start talking sooner than later because I'm already behind schedule from where I wanted to be because I couldn't get out of bed. And as you might be able to tell, this is probably going to be a lower key stream, but hello, welcome. Hi, is Firefly gender? Of course she is. 100%, yeah, But yeah, lower key probably, partially also my voice kind of died after Monday, to be honest, and my body also kind of died after Monday, to be honest, so I'm going through it right now, but I want to be on schedule because I am a perfectionist, I am an overachiever, and I want to stay on a relatively consistent schedule because I am very dedicated to this. I want to make this a regular thing, both for my own enjoyment and to get my own mind off of things happening, and also to hopefully provide a little, I don't know, maybe this sounds weirdly egotistical or something, but I hope I can make other people happy too by just, sharing games I like and hanging out and providing a place for people to hang out, a little safe space on the internet, and, just be a nice little, I don't know how to say this, but, I don't know if the song is really gonna fit the mood of today, but we'll let it ride anyway, because I like this song. You make me happy by existing, thank you, and I can say the same for all of you too. I really appreciate everybody. And I do apologize if I don't say it enough, because I feel like I don't say it enough. Which is just probably part of me struggling a lot to show affection, which is just a whole other, conversation, a whole other can of worms. I don't know if I should get into that right now, to be honest. I should probably just play a video game, huh? Yeah, hi. But hi Esper, hi Red, hi Silver, hi Peter, hi Mario, hi Delphine, hi that's actually everybody. Okay, so hi Yudi, hello, hi. So many people are showing up and I'm overwhelmed a little bit. And also, I need to mention last time I tried streaming, Red and Silver basically started sharing my stream everywhere, and because I was trying to keep it relatively low key, and then they just went and shared it everywhere anyway. So I do really appreciate that. A lot of people were really supportive last time, and yet again, the Red Panda definitely went around posting it everywhere that she was able to, which means next time we need in my going live message, I just need to say something that will dissuade her from copying my exact message. I think that's what I need to do. I'm going live to stream a game, also head pat the Red Panda and see if she actually copies it verbatim or not. Hang out to show support for a community member, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Again, I don't know if this fits the mood of the serious conversation I'm currently having, but I don't know what in my playlist will fit the mood of this current conversation, because I feel like it's mostly Sonic music at the moment, partly because, hey, I'm streaming Sonic. So I figure, hey, it must be a good idea to just have a lot of Sonic music right now. It's topical. But I am currently building up a music playlist. It's not anywhere close to being done, but yeah, I should probably start the game, because again, I'm already running behind schedule, and again, this is probably gonna take 2 hours or so, so let's just cut over here. Also, I need to turn the game audio back on, mute the music for now, and I am going to cut over to here. So yeah, last time we started the Dark story, we got through the hero story really fast, and we started messing around. Actually, there's something I want to do first. I want to actually go into the Chow Garden, because I had an idea for something to do really quickly, and since certain people are here right now, we need to actually do this now while we have an opportunity. So we have a bunch of Chow. We named one Gwendolyn because of course we did. So if you saw the raid message with Proton John last time, this is why for the raid message. But we also have one more Chow, and I'm actually kind of torn of what to name this one, because there are two really potential options to get a reaction, and both people are here right now, so I'm trying to decide which to do, but I also don't want to say who outright, because that would spoil the surprise. But I have something very specific in mind, so let's go to the fortune teller. Alright. I have a really weird idea, but I don't think this is gonna work, unfortunately. I was gonna say pick a number between 1 and 10, but I don't know how that's gonna work for this situation. How about naming the Chow yourself? Many good options of names, but I do think we have to go with this one. Maybe if we get another Chow later down the road, like if I keep playing this file to try to 100% it, because that is something I'd like to do. Maybe we'll make Sonic Adventure 2 like a regular thing, where we just try to come back to it from time to time, try to work on emblems. But basically, we're gonna name the Chow Scarlet, and we're gonna do something else before we leave. This is really important. This is necessary to bless the run and to make sure we have good RNG in the treasure hunting stages, like Meteor, like what's the name of it? Mad Space, and also Egg Quarter and Security Hall, and just also have good luck overall.
Here, everything will be okay.
Okay, now that we've done that, we can resume the Dark Story. So we just need to get that out of the way. So the run has been blessed, so we should have a good time with the rest of the story.
My name is Rouge the Bat, better known as the Treasure Hunter Rouge. I was able to put a transmitter on that old man's machine when he first appeared. I can't tell you why just yet. Then I tracked and followed him to this pyramid, but couldn't get in because the door was sealed. Maybe I need to find a key or something to get in. This is Rouge. I've located Eggman's base and will proceed to enter it now. I hate to say it. I guess I'm going to have to find that key first.
Also, how does my mic sound? Because again, sometimes with the noise cancellation I use, it can end up sounding a little bit tinny. So please let me know if everything sounds okay. Also, make sure to report that IE to the appropriate sources, because I'm not able to right now. Anyway, the second key is right here somewhere, so we might as well try to figure out where the hell this is. Nope, colder. So again, you can't actually upgrade the radar in general to even be better than this, to the SA1 radar, where it actually cycles between, like, blue to green, if I'm not mistaken. So you actually have better, like, variants, and can actually ascertain it even faster. But again, I actually don't have it installed at the moment, because I don't really need it, usually. Again, if we need hints, that's fine. This one's annoying, actually, if I'm not mistaken. It might be high up, or, like, in one of these little nooks here, but I'm actually having a hard time finding this one. There's a couple levels where it could be, and it's on neither of them, so I have no clue what this is, so we'll just move on for now. We do need the pick nails, as they're called, the digging item for Rouge, so we might as well go and get that as well. It looks like the next emerald is in the big central chamber, whether it's like floating around or if it's like in one of these boxes, we'll have to wait and see. But again, we actually can't get hints until later. Never mind, we're actually really close. Where is it though? So Eggcourt is weird. It has like a gimmick of these beetle robots flying around, and they will try to shoot lasers at you if it spots you. So basically we're going to try to be very careful. I'm also curious about something, if the actual... wait, we can't dig yet, that's the problem. So we actually do need to get the item first. I'm pretty sure that's where that is. Now we have a bit of a conundrum because we're behind the robot, so we have to wait for it to actually go on its own. But yeah, hi, hello, welcome. I hope everyone is having a good day. Might as well unlock the Shower Garden with more characters. I definitely neglected that with the Hero Side story, to be honest. Truth be told, I think we need to go to Blue. Hi, Nicole. Oh, oops, missed that. That's okay. We'll probably not get an A rank anyway. We're kind of taking a while. Yeah, I hope everyone's okay, and if you're not okay, I hope you, I hope you feel better. If anyone's going through a rough patch again, I'm not having the best day myself, to be honest, for a multitude of reasons. So I totally understand. And again, I just wanted to stream anyway because I figured it might help me to feel better, and maybe it can help others to feel better, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is a really annoying stage in my opinion. Again, this is probably going to be a lower energy stream anyway, also to avoid messing up my throat like I did last time. I definitely overexerted last stream, so I'm gonna try to take it a little bit easier this time, hopefully. There we go, finally got that key. So that means the radar will actually be cooperative a little bit more for the other two, hopefully. Again, I don't know if it's a case of the radar only shows the exclamation point when you're actually looking for an emerald, so maybe it is buried in the wall? So we'll try digging there when we get back to the central chamber, because it might just be inside there. There's a very high chance of it, too. Alright, so in general, I'm gonna try digging here. It might not be here. Or it might be on one of the fans. I actually don't know. But hey, we're here. We might as well do a quick check of it. It might not even be here. The radar's kind of trailing off. It might be over here, actually. Or not. Yeah, I have no clue what this one is, so we'll come back for that later. Had a brief but pretty bad spiral earlier. I'm trying to calm down now. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. And I was kind of in the same boat, to be fair, and, yeah, still not quite out of the woods in my case, but again, I kind of figured this would be an okay game just because it's one I know really well, so like, it's not a matter of... Oh shoot, it's just over here, isn't it? Yeah, I really overthought that, to be honest, but we couldn't get it anyway because we had to dig into the wall. But yeah, I kind of feel like this is, like, if I'm gonna stream, this is a decent, like, game to do, partly because it's, like, a game I know really well, so I can kind of wing it a lot more. Oh, it's just buried here. Well, that took longer than I had hoped, but we got through it. So now we have a really long cutscene, if I'm not mistaken, and also one of the levels that's most impacted by this lighting mod, if I'm not mistaken, which is Lost Colony. I'm surprised that's a B rank. I thought that would be a C, to be honest. That took way too long. I also missed an upgrade in the hero story, so oops. Oh wait, I forgot we actually got the Chow key. We're not going straight to cutscenes. So typically you want to actually have a Hero Chow and a Dark Chow. So we are going to have Scarlet be the Dark Chow. I don't know what that says about Scarlet, to be honest. It's, no, nothing personal, but we just do need a Dark Chow for this. Unfortunately, there are no red pandas in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but we shall give items to Scarlet anyway, and of course, give head pats. And with that, we can resume the main story, which again should be cutscene.
It's a space transporter. The destination has been set to Ark? Wasn't that space colony shut down over 50 years ago? What's he doing up there anyway? Doesn't matter. It's my mission to find out what he's up to.
So this is the space colony Ark. I have to locate the central control room that Shadow mentioned before he left.
So yeah, in later versions of this game, the flashlight on the mech didn't actually work. So this actually restores it, and I'm pretty sure also there was a gimmick in older versions of the game where when you actually destroy an enemy, the explosion will actually light up the room, and that's also been restored. I'm pretty sure that was not the case on the Steam version by default because of just the room being brighter. But yeah, I'm checking the chat, and Scarlet is entering her succubus arc, and something dark progesterone. We will never escape the dark progesterone in this community, apparently. It'll always forever follow us no matter where we go, for better or worse. I don't even know what will happen if I ever play Super Paper Mario. I would like to. I love the Paper Mario games, but I kind of question how chat will be if I end up doing that. Like, am I gonna also have to deal with a gender PowerPoint? Not that I would mind, in all fairness. I'm just like, do I have to brace myself for this possibility? But yeah, I would like to go through the Paper Marios at some point. I can't actually stream 3DS, so I wouldn't be able to do Sticker Star, but I would probably try to do the others. I do like the modern Paper Marios more than most of the like classic fans, people who grew up with the old games. So I would kind of like to go through those games and actually kind of talk about them in like detail, because I think they have a lot of like high points and low points, and I think a lot of things about the other two games get really overgeneralized, and even Super, I think, gets kind of overgeneralized in a way that's not quite fair. So again, maybe someday I'd go through Paper Mario, but that's also a long RPG. I also feel like that's something I might want to do after opening up my Discord, for a very specific reason of not carrying all the voices myself, because I think that will wreck me if I try to voice all dialogue in that game. So I might try to like arrange collabs or something, or at least just have friends on to voice dialogue, or if they want to, or something like that. I don't know. I have a lot of plans. I have too many plans, to be honest, because again, overachiever, probably. But in general, I would like to play more dialogue-based games, partly as an excuse to kind of like flex vocal range a bit. I remember playing through Sonic Adventure 2, I had such a hard time with some of the boss fights. In my opinion, the boss fights are kind of the weakest part of this game, from just being kind of overbearing sometimes. Like, obviously the best example I can think of is the second Eggman or Tails boss, where I just feel like the special moves get so oppressive that it gets really annoying actually trying to get through the fights. We actually got through the Eggman fight first try. We'll see if we luck out with Tails too, because again, I'm expecting to get walled on one or the other, because I think both fights are bad. The second to last final story boss is also kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest. At least as a kid, because hitboxes are weird. And also there's like an instant death thing too. Again, I'd like to play, as my description mentions, I would like to get into a lot more fighting games and like retro stuff, and like I would like to do multiplayer nights too. I have a lot of plans, again, maybe too many. Hi Big, I don't know how he got here in, you know, space and everything, but there he is, just vibing. Also, hi Peachy, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day, and we should be at the end of Lost Colony, actually. But again, one game I would like to play relatively soon is Shadow the Hedgehog, to try to get through that, at least a couple of the endings, and then the last story, before Sonic Cross Shadow, and also the movie. Because I kind of want an excuse to go through Shadow the Hedgehog, because I started playing it again on my own time, and I didn't like it as a kid, but well, actually it's weird, I'll talk about it more then, but I didn't like it as a kid, but then I just never played it again, and now that I'm playing through it again as an adult, I'm like actually kind of enjoying it. It's definitely not perfect, but I am actually having a pretty decent time. But again, there are 5 endings left on my personal playthrough, so I thought about just getting those 5 endings on stream, which would take me to the 5 main paths. And yeah, dialogue heavy streams would be interesting, just as a way to like try different voices and stuff. Oh yeah, once again I forgot we're going to the Chow world. I've also thought about like doing something similar for like Ace Attorney, like trying to arrange like a lot of people to try to do an Ace Attorney game, and try to like have everyone voicing characters if they so desired. Like, just kind of having people voice who they want to voice. Maybe have people rotating out depending on the case. But also, Ace Attorney games are actually kind of long, so I don't know if I would want to commit to that. But I think it would be funny, because I'm gonna be honest, my friends are really funny. So, like, I think it'd be funny to just get them in a call and trying to go through an Ace Attorney and seeing it just kind of like, I don't know, seeing improv happen, seeing all sorts of cool things happen. I don't know if I'm making any sense as I am giving a bunch of animals to Scarlet the Dark Chow right now. I like how Eggman doesn't like cradle the Chow, he just shakes it because he does not know how to be a parent, which reminds me I should also play through Frontiers on stream at some point, because I have strong opinions on Frontiers, some good, some bad, to be honest, so it might be kind of fun to try to parse through how I feel about that game.
I've been waiting for you, Doctor. Now, I will show the glorious achievement of what the world's leading scientist, Professor Gerald, has created. The Ark was the first space colony created by mankind. Not many people know that the Ark contained a top-secret research facility, where weapons of mass destruction were being created. This is one of them, a weapon capable of destroying an entire planet, codenamed the Eclipse Cannon.
Destroying an entire planet? Was this my grandfather's legacy?
But it's been deactivated for some time now. To reactivate it, large amounts of energy are necessary.
Oh, so that's why we needed the Chaos Emerald.
Exactly. To reactivate the machine, we need the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Once you have that, then you have the ultimate power of destruction to use as you please. And then, the world could be yours.
Sounds like a plan. I like the way you think, Shadow. I will get the Chaos Emeralds, use the machine to dominate the world and build a legacy
Do you really
of my
think
own.
it will be that easy? I've got a great idea. How about making a deal?
Deal?
When you grabbed that huge emerald, you said something about a reaction. A reaction that it may have with the Master Emerald. Now, if you could just let me borrow that radar, I may be able to help you. What do you
If
think?
I do, what's in it for me?
I have an idea where the other Chaos Emeralds may be. I may not look like it, but do you know that I am a treasure hunter that specializes in all kinds of jewels?
Very well.
Okay then, it's a deal. I don't think we've been introduced. I'm Rouge the Bat, but you can call me Rouge.
Having to come back isn't my idea of a vacation. How can you be sure your intelligence reports are correct? Why would the Chaos Emeralds be here on the island? Are you absolutely sure?
Well, believe what you want to believe.
Very well, very well. Let's discuss how we are going to do this. I will go in first and distract the military troops, allowing you to sneak in the base without being detected. Then, Shadow will enter the armory, where he will set the timer on these dynamite packs. Once that is in place, we will blow up the whole island and get away before anyone has a chance to know what hit them. Meanwhile, you'll have to sneak into the cargo area and grab the Chaos Emerald. That's a challenge for such a worthy treasure hunter as yourself, isn't it, Batgirl? We only have 30 minutes to pull this mission off, and we only get one try, so don't fail me.
So this level's fun. Weapons bed. You basically have a lot of lock-on opportunities. You also have an item in this stage. I actually don't remember how to get it, to be honest, so we probably won't be getting it. Wait, no, it's in plain sight. It's the Chow I'm thinking of. That's really annoying to find. So yeah, basically this is a really annoying stage if you're trying to get A ranks though, because you are expected to lock onto basically everything into a combo, which can definitely be a little bit overwhelming. And trying to do this quickly is also annoying because, again, if you're trying to do the missions, there's one that's like a time trial, and the time limit's actually pretty strict, so it can actually be very difficult to balance locking onto enough things for the A rank and also finishing the stage in time. Also, the mission 4s don't have checkpoints. They have to be done all in one go, which is also a little bit challenging. So again, someday I'd like to go through the game again, 100% them. I'd like to 100% all of the games on stream at some point. Well, not all of them. I probably would only do the adventure games. Maybe 06. Again, I'm like actually kind of like hankering to play 06 for some reason. Though my only issue is I don't have a 360 controller at the moment, so I'd probably pick up like an adapter to use like a PlayStation or Switch controller on Xbox. Those do exist. For like Xbox 360, and I think that'd be a better solution than trying to find a used 360 controller and hoping it actually works. But yeah, I have definitely considered the possibility, and again, it might just be funny to just go through Sonic 06 trying to 100% it and hope I don't like lose my mind in the process. So again, the first time I did it, it wasn't too bad, actually. Only a couple stages were, like, really annoying. Like, Sonic stages were actually kind of bad because of the Mach Speed sections, because you basically have one chance to get through those stages, because if you die at all, then you basically don't have enough rings or points to actually get an S rank. But in every other case, it's really not that bad. Like Shadow and Silver, usually you can actually get the S rank pretty easily, because that's more about just fighting a lot of enemies. Meanwhile, the Sonic stages that don't have Mach Speed sections aren't really that bad, like Aquatic Base or whatever the hell that level's called. I literally do not remember what that stage is called, but the last stage for Sonic. So yeah, it's a really weird balancing act of trying to balance points and score, or points and time, in a way that we don't really have anymore in Sonic games, to be honest. Basically, the problem with this is, Generations, for example, really emphasizes speed a lot more, and like, you know, Frontiers' S ranks are entirely speed-based, I'm pretty sure, so in general, it's more about going fast than trying to, like, balance. The Colors was the last game that really emphasized going for score, and I kind of missed that, to be honest. But anyway, that takes care of this stage. That's probably a B rank, right? Maybe an A? C, okay.
That wasn't so difficult. Okay, everyone ready? Shadow, Rouge, on with the show!
Oh, Sonic! I thought I'd never see you again. I'm so glad you made it. You're not Sonic. Who are you?
I'm the one who should be asking that.
Dr. Eggman! Ah!
Ah! Amy, your timing is impeccable. Leave it to me. I'll take care of her. You two, go! Give up, Amy.
Boy, am I glad to see you! Stand back, Amy! Eggman, you won't get away with this!
This is the exact same boss fight except from the other direction, so we're just gonna smash the square button in this case because I'm using a PlayStation controller, because we really don't have to even move at all, and we'll be fine. Yeah, seeing Eggman with his goggles down is weird because he almost never does that, and he has his goggles back up in this cutscene.
I'm in position, Doctor. Tell me when.
There's been an unexpected delay on my end. There's no more time to waste. Set the timer for 15 minutes. Let's go, Rouge.
5 minutes should be plenty. Here I go.
Rouge, get the Chaos Emerald before the military finds you.
You know the answer is going to be, oh, you know, right? Because it is. Alright, red block, it looks like. So we need to actually go up to the highest level, flip the switch. By the way, this level is like one of the best for the radar mod, because in the main stage, it's really annoying having to like guess which levels everything is on and hoping you don't have to keep going back and forth activating the vaults. But basically with the mod, we can actually just see where everything is, roughly. It's not great, this is a bad pattern because one is in blue and one is in red. Hypothetically, I like when multiples are actually not this spread out, which basically means we'll have to do 2 trips to try to activate 2 sets of switches. So this one's going to be a little bit of a pain. It looks like the final emerald might be... no, I can't tell where it is, actually. The radar's not really going off. But again, the 5-minute timer is also really annoying. As a kid, this is where I got stuck for the longest time, and would just replay other stages because this sucked so badly. Oh, this one's in plain sight. That's actually perfect. So again, we only have to do a couple trips to the vaults to try to, like, reactivate everything, thankfully. So again, this shouldn't be too awful, all things considered. Okay, maybe a little awful, because I already lost track of the other emerald. Was it over here? I think it was over here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So that should be 2, and last one looks like it's in the other block, which means we have to go back up here, flip the switch, and hope for the best. That was blue, right? I hope it was, because otherwise we'll have a problem. Yeah, I was in blue, but again, sometimes you can have them in all 3, like, levels, in which case you have to basically flip the switch 3 times, wasting a lot of time in the process. So all things considered, the radar mod does help with not having to backtrack as much as you might have to otherwise. But again, that was a pretty decent emerald pattern. If I can find this last one. Wait, this is C. Or the yellow floor. I need to go up to the blue floor, I think. So it's gotta be in one of these. So I almost just died, so that would've been a problem. But luckily we got through in relatively one piece. I just bumped my mic, I hope that wasn't super loud. But yeah, again, this stage is definitely a wall, and that went surprisingly well though, all things considered.
How was that? Perfect? Like me? I can't believe I've come this far, just to fail.
This is Flying Dog to headquarters. Intruder found entering security hole. Preparing to attack.
Copy that.
Alright, so this boss is just the other 2 mech fights, except we have walls to help us, like, fly into the mech's cockpit because it can't land, it has no legs. This is actually the easiest one in a way. It has, like, 1 extra hit point over the others, so it's technically tougher from that regard, but because we can basically hit it at all times, it's really not that bad. Again, it's kind of weird, the balancing in this game. Sometimes it doesn't entirely make sense in terms of, like, what's really difficult and what's really hard. Like, you'd think they'd make the harder level, you know, later on rather than earlier, but this one is, in my opinion, a lot faster and more straightforward in general, despite being so late into the dark story.
Pretty strong, all right.
Now we get a bunch of cutscenes, and I think we got the meme cutscene again.
This is Rouge. I've got a small problem. I can't believe that I'm trapped inside this locked safe with a Chaos Emerald. I guess I won't be able to call myself a treasure hunter anymore.
Shoot! Troublemaker.
I have no clue how that happened, but I completely forgot White Jungle existed. I thought we went straight to, the end of the set piece, basically. I also forgot to fight with Sonic for some reason. I have no clue how that happened, to be honest. In general, White Jungle's a fun stage, and it probably has some of the most, like, level variants of a lot of Shadow's levels, in terms of, like, being the most open. In terms of having a lot of routes. Again, a lot of times people measure Sonic games in terms of how many routes they have. Like, people are already popping off for Shadow Generations because there's so many alternate paths. I almost feel like they're course correcting because of Frontiers' stages being a little bit more linear in some ways. And again, you could see that a bit with the DLC portion of that too, where in Final Horizon the levels are incredibly open. Is Himeko? Who's Himeko? I actually don't... Is she the red hair girl? Then sure, I guess. Why are you just asking me about Star Rail characters? I mean, other than the obvious reason. And also, why am I the arbiter of this now? I have no clue where I was going before then. But yeah, I also don't know why it says Eggman Bomb Bomb. I kind of wonder how much, if they ever remade this game, I wonder how much they'd actually redo of things like that, in terms of like graphic design, because you're playing it and also talking to me. Okay, that's fair, I suppose. I wish I got more into a lot of games. I kind of don't really vibe with a lot of, like, you know, Zenless, Zone Zero, and all that. I like the character designs to some extent, but I don't really click with the gameplay very much, to be honest. Like, Genshin's the other one. Star Rail is probably the one I enjoy the most, but even that's, like, kind of more FOMO than, like, genuine enjoyment sometimes. But again, I do like turn-based RPGs, so I kind of vibe with it in that regard. This is scary, trying to light dash with the lightning shield. We'll probably die here. Nope, we actually lived. So as Sonic, we would have died there probably because the bounce bracelet sucks. This mod loader actually has the ability to add the bounce bracelet to Shadow as well. I don't recommend it for things like this because there are a lot of light dashes above pits. And if you're above a pit, you have a chance of just plummeting into the abyss. So again, I would recommend not having the bounce bracelet if you can as Shadow. 10 minutes is a really generous time limit, actually. We're already done with this stage. There's another route that's technically better for points. You actually kind of need to go through that like ring trail you can see in the background to actually get like the A rank, like to get enough points. But again, I'm not overly concerned about that. Never mind, we got an A rank anyway, so no big deal.
Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough
I'll
to
make
be
you eat
my
those
fake.
words. You can't get away this time. There's only one real Sonic. Bring it
Basically,
on.
all the rival fights are the same as their counterparts. Also, I might need to step away because there's a really long set of cutscenes coming up, so I think this would be a good opportunity to actually step out, if I'm not mistaken.
That hurt. No time to hang out with the likes of you.
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up?
Chaos Control!
Shadow, what do you think it's like on Earth?
The professor said his life's work was dedicated to all of those who live down there. He once told that the reason for his existence was making people happy through the power of science.
Shadow.
Maria, I just don't know anything anymore. I often wonder why I was created, what my purpose is for being here. Maybe if I go down there, I will find the answers. Maybe. Maria.
Why so melancholy? That was so unexpected, so unlike you, Shadow, to come and rescue me. But your ability to use the chaos control certainly comes in handy.
You know, I didn't come to save you. I came back for the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, but then again, that's not the whole story, is it?
Everything is ready to go.
Are you sure? We only have 6 of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, you know.
That's more than enough for the demonstration. So let's get the show on the road.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears and listen to me very carefully. My name is Dr. Eggman, the world's greatest scientist, and soon to be the world's greatest ruler. Now witness the beginning of the greatest empire of all time.
Why are you so upset? Well, that was really impressive. You've managed to create complete havoc on the whole planet. Does this now mean we control the planet and can do as we choose?
At this rate, the cannon will take too much time to charge up. If you want to unleash its full potential, you'll need all 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Where in the world have you been?
Something happened?
Our threats fell on deaf ears.
Look at you, throwing a tantrum like a little kid. How totally embarrassing.
Don't forget your end of the bargain, Batgirl. What about that last Chaos Emerald? We had a deal, right? So where is my emerald?
Here you go. I found this.
Why didn't you show me this before? What's this? Station Square saved from a life-threatening missile attack. The city has awarded its famed prize to the boy who saved Station Square. Miles Tails per hour was given the Chaos Emerald as a testament of his heroic deed at a ceremony held at City Hall. This makes things a whole lot easier. Hurry, go back to Earth and find them fast. I want that Chaos Emerald!
Did you get that?
Soon enough, Maria.
This is Rouge reporting. Currently, I have not been able to confirm if Shadow is the ultimate life form or not. I will continue my research on Project Shadow and have a follow-up report very shortly. Just a reminder, don't forget about my jewels. I'm picking up a signal from the Emerald. Fox Boy, wait for me!
Okay, so we have another driving level, so this will be fun. Also, the comment about the side of the moon is really funny because there's actually a lot of debate over this. How is the moon fine in every other game, because you can see the moon in a lot of games, and yeah, the car shape is very notorious, and I'll leave it at that for now. But basically, you have the theory that pretty much every time you see the moon in a Sonic game, it's just facing the other side. I don't remember who said that, but that to me is my favorite theory just because of how absurd it is. Like, oh, every time the moon shows up, it just happens to be the side that isn't blown up. But that would still affect, like, tides and things, so I don't quite understand. Also, yeah, Sonic continuity is a bit of a mess. Like, I have objections to Prime, and most of them are just because Sonic Prime is supposed to be canon. If it was its own thing like Sonic X, I would not be nearly as miffed by some of the character portrayals and story elements, but since it's supposed to be canon, that makes it worse in my opinion. That's kind of how I feel about the movies. The movies are so self-contained, it doesn't really bother me that they don't play out the same way, because they're not really trying to fit into the main canon anyway. They're their own self-contained universe. You know, while we're basically going through a driving section, so how about that PS5 Pro? I was trying to figure out how to talk about this, and I guess this is, like, the best time I can think of while we're just driving. I really am fascinated by how well it'll do, and that's basically my main takeaway on it, is I really want to know how it'll sell. Definitely not interested myself, but again, it'll be interesting to see if it actually has a market. In general though, I feel like most games are still gonna run totally fine on current PS5, so it doesn't really, or PC for that matter, so it doesn't really matter to me. But again, I'd rather just upgrade my computer more if I had that much to spare to get a PS5 Pro. In terms of other things, I've actually thought about doing like podcasty kind of things. From time to time, like just chatting, or just chatting streams. That's actually hard to say. Partly just because I have a lot of opinions on things, so I'm trying to get better at, like, not shying away from sharing them. And I thought maybe, like, I don't know, maybe like a podcasty format might actually be good for that. I don't know. Again, I have too many ideas. Probably a lot of them won't ever happen, or if they do happen, they'll be a long time from now. But a lot of times I just feel like talking about things, and talking about my plans is just something that's like an easy way to fill time, I guess, especially this early on into streaming, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's why I've been rambling so much about this so far. Anyway, that takes care of this stage. I forgot the name of it already. They're the two driving stages. I never remember which one is which. But we're done with that. And next is Skyrail, I think.
Shadow, they're in that blue plane. Spotted at 11 o'clock.
Copy that. I'm in pursuit.
So there's an interesting theory with the stage that it wasn't actually meant to be a shadow stage, and I think we actually have some proof of that. I'm pretty sure there's an old magazine scan somewhere where Sonic is actually shown in the stage. So basically the long-standing theory is this was meant to be a Sonic stage, and also the music, as some argue, is an indicator of this too, because traditionally Shadow's songs have vocals, and this was his only stage without a vocal song, so that's another thing that makes people suspect that maybe this was meant for Sonic instead. We got the light attack. This is the only time we'll be using it as Shadow, because it's funny, because he ends up just kind of orbiting like this for a really long time. Motion sickness warning, I probably should have said that sooner. But it's just really glitchy, and again, this is the only time I ever use the light attack, is to see how long it takes to actually defeat these enemies with light attack, because it's notoriously bad in this particular section. Please go through with your ideas. Does that mean, do you want me to talk about my ideas more, or do you want me to go through with everything I've said? Also, I pressed A just to get a move on, or X in this case, just because, you know, on my own time, it'd be interesting to see how long that would take, but, you know, I wanted to get a move on a little bit. in general, I kind of feel like for streaming, this is just a way for me to get over, like, anxiety in a lot of ways, like fear of talking to people. Like, I'm notoriously bad at trying to talk in voice calls, for example. I have a lot of difficulty opening up about things I enjoy from time to time, in terms of, like, you know, hobbies, interests, and, you know, as I'm playing Sonic Adventure 2, a game that has had its fair share of discussions and debates on the internet, this is kind of an ironic starting point, potentially, for streaming. But in general, I feel like this is a series I'm really passionate about, so I would like to go through them. Again, the highs and lows, and try to actually build up, like, reasonable takes on them, because I think... Is that the first death of this playthrough? It might actually be. We haven't died that much across these two streams, but again, sometimes the rail physics are just really weird. Like, you think you can land on it, but you don't, so... Or, like, you think your angle is correct, but it's just slightly off. I have no clue what I was talking about right before then. That totally threw me off, to be honest. But again, basically, I want to go through a lot of RPGs, but again, that has the downside of RPGs are long and have a lot of talking, so I don't know how I'd actually, like, get through them. Especially because if I'm only streaming, like, 3 hours, that's not really great if an RPG is, like, 40. That means it'll take, like, a dozen streams, which might not be ideal, so I'll have to figure out what to do with that. And just deal with it. True. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff in mind. It's just a matter of actually implementing it. You're doing better. Thank you. I feel like I have practice again. Like, a long time ago, I did try streaming. It didn't go super well, but again, it was like a whole gender ago. But again, I think I basically developed the ability to, like, talk and just keep talking, because at that point, I didn't really have people showing up, so I just kind of got into the habit of just, like, continually talking, even, like trying to, like, fill time, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But anyway, this Chow doesn't have legs, and I'm trying to remember how that happens. There's a specific animal that gets rid of the Chow's legs. So sorry, Scarlet, you don't have legs now. At least until we give you another, like, animal that'll give legs back. I mean, the Chow seems to be happy though, so more power to her. Oh, we went right, the ghost, I think. That sounds right, at least. We're definitely not going to do any Chow races or karate in this current batch of streams, because again, you have to level up a Chow a lot in order to get to that point, and we are definitely not getting there.
Doctor, they're heading directly toward us. What should we do?
Just sit tight. We've got them on radar. There's no way they can get away. I don't know what they are planning, but I'll be sure to give them a warm welcome.
That was pretty rough.
We did it! Let's go, Amy! Yeah!
You little thieves. Did you really think you could get out of here alive?
Come and get some, Eggman! Just leave it to me!
This time, I'll take your lives, as well as the Chaos Emerald. I call on you to destroy these pests. Come out, my servant.
Whoa.
Now go and squash that blue hedgehog, Sonic.
Huh. To the end!
When Sonic struck his head, He must have broken the restraining mechanism. Ah, what a piece of junk! No!
One weird bit of trivia is this is like the only boss fight where you can actually skip this little intro cutscene. You can actually press like A to skip that. Most of the others you have to actually sit through. I don't know why it's this way, to be honest. Anyway, this is Egg Golem round 2. This time we're as the mech, so we basically have to... Why did I want to say we have to give the Egg Golem top surgery? I don't know why that's the phrasing I decided on, but I guess we'll stick with that for now. Alright, I don't know how to follow that up, to be honest. So yeah, we just have to like shoot the Egg Golem's like chest area to basically blow up parts of it in order to hit the mechanisms underneath. I actually don't know what this is even supposed to be, if it's like partly mechanical or like just an actual stone golem. But yeah, we have successfully given the Egg Golem top surgery apparently.
Green light for launch.
Also, this is the same cutscene as the hero story, except for obviously the ending part with them actually going to space. Or like them crashing the shuttle. But it doesn't have music. It's really weird. I don't know why they did it this way, to be honest.
Hi, Doctor. How's it going? What? What do you mean they escaped? That's okay. I will go after them myself. Can you tell me the password for the space colony control? Tricking that old doctor is just too easy. All right, it's time to get to work. The password is Maria. Maria, I've heard that name somewhere before. Oh well. This is it. Research Project Shadow, the ultimate life form. Let's see now. What in the world is this? This can't be right. Just what is Shadow anyway? I guess I'll just have to take the last pieces of the Master Emerald.
I feel like that's a very fast turnaround. I don't know how else to describe it, but basically going from permission to just gonna bail and look for treasure, basically. Where the heck is the item? Is it over here, or is it... No, it's on the planet, right. But, how do I get to the planet? Because I thought you had to break them. Oh wait, this one is active by default, that's right. Mad Space sucks, I'm gonna be honest. This is like the worst level in the game, almost universally agreed upon, just because the hints are like backwards, either written backwards or opposite in meaning. And there's also a really big level, so just everything about this stage is kind of bad, to be honest. Like, it has the verticality of Meteor Herd with like really bad hints. Like, what does that say? Dancing wooden box on the grass? Like, what does that mean, for starters? I think it means the green planet, if I had to guess. And it's probably a container that we have to break, so... It just takes a lot of effort to find anything because of everything being scrambled. Also, this one sucks because you have to like do a move that the game doesn't really teach you about. You have this like spiral upper move. You basically have to spin the control stick, but oftentimes you'll get the prompt anyway, and as a kid I never understood that. Like, you could manually do an input for that. So yeah, just do like a 360 motion. New Mario Galaxy looks pretty good. I guess maybe that's why I like Mario, why Mario Galaxy doesn't bother me in terms of like motion sickness, because I grew up with this game, which is arguably like more disorienting in some ways. This planet sucks because they often hide stuff on the side of it, and basically the gravity doesn't entirely react well sometimes. Again, this is gonna be the stage where I just complain about the game a bunch because, again, even as a Sonic Adventure 2 defender, I don't really have a lot to say about this particular stage that's overly positive, so I do apologize to any Mad Space enjoyers out there for my commentary on this stage. Watchman of the yellow balcony? It's like, what does that even mean? Is that up? That's probably up, isn't it? Because there's like a balcony. All 0 of them? Oh, I'm sure someone likes Mad Space. Like, the statistical probability of everyone who has played Sonic Adventure 2 actually agreeing on Mad Space is like astronomically low. Someone has to be like, this is my favorite level. Because that's like just how odds work. I have no clue if that's how odds work. I'm just kinda BSing at this point, to be honest.
It's gotta be close.
Anyway, that was easy. And so the final one... Lonely light in the dark. What the hell does that mean? Again, so many hints are like that, where it's like, this literally is meaningless unless you have the entire level map memorized. The smallest meteorite, which means it's the biggest meteorite, because the game's a meanie. Again, I don't know what I'm gonna be like in terms of swearing. Don't dig onto the lonely light. What? On the floating meteor? What? Huh? I have no clue what that is. Like, none of those hints tell me where this is. Like, I'm not even kidding. My only hunch is it's one of these extra platforms, and that's solely based on the radar not going off anywhere else. Also, I'm probably gonna die. Yep, there we go. Yeah, probably worst level, for sure. Black container balcony. Again, what does that mean? Blue container. Game, please make up your mind. I have no clue why it's like saying 2 separate balconies. Like, what is happening? Oh, it's probably up, though. Again, I think they do reset after every death, so this is actually a difference from Sonic Adventure, and one I don't like. Well, along with all the other changes to the treasure hunting stages. 3-colored container. Okay, so this game really likes containers at the moment. But basically, in Sonic Adventure 1, if you like died or even just restarted from a checkpoint, you actually have the emerald locations exactly the same, so you can basically get through the A ranks really easily because they're fixed. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be here. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's on the platform, isn't it? Here it is. Okay, but now we have to fight gravity. And unfortunately, gravity's got hands, so this might take a few attempts to line up properly. And we also have falling meteorites that might kill me, so yeah. This is an average Mad Space run for me, though. Cursed. Well, this is going really well, actually. Where did it go? Over here? There's a multiplayer version of the stage, by the way. It's a thing. Trying to do this with, like, half the screen. Can I land on this, please? You cannot grab onto that. Cool. Okay, so we just have to legitimately fly into it. Okay. Good to know. Well, we're actually kind of getting close-ish. Not really. I'm actually kind of not saying a whole lot because I'm trying to focus because this is so painful. Again, this is like the last wall stage. Everything else will be smooth sailing from here, hopefully. last treasure hunting level period. Everything else is a lot more skill-based instead of like luck-based in terms of placements of things. Also, have I ever mentioned I have really bad depth perception, so that's also really not helping here. And the camera's like not cooperating either. So like everything is working against me in this one set piece. Nope. Close. I'm trying my best to control the camera here. Thank you for the words of encouragement, because this is definitely a thing right now. Nope, I was too inward, I think. Warpstar Kirby, hello, welcome to the stream. We are currently trying to get this last emerald piece in mad space. It is definitely not going well, as you can see. So, yeah, the last 4 minutes were meaningless, potentially, unless it's in the same place, because I think it is, based on the hint. You're doing great. Thank you. I hope I am doing okay, that this isn't just, like, a slow descent into madness, because that's kind of what it feels like right now.
It's gotta be close.
Okay, I landed on the thingy. Nope. That did not help. Cool. This might be the rest of the stream, actually, at this rate. Okay, let's try this. Nope. I don't know what I'm doing wrong is the thing, because I can't gauge how close or far away I am. Fintime, thank you for the follow. Dang it. Nope. So hi, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's having an okay day. There we go, finally got it. I just needed to talk about something else apparently. Well, we're done with the treasure hunting, so we are free of that nonsense.
I'm ashamed to call myself a hunter. Long time no see, treasure hunter. Did you find my emerald?
That's a good one. Your emerald. Talking to you is a waste of time. Hand over those master emeralds. Give them to me.
If I ever actually did a full playthrough, like if I go back to this file and try to 100% it, one thing I will make sure to have queued up is the Unleashed E-Rank theme, in case we ever get an E-Rank, because it's like the funniest thing, because it's the Sonic Unleashed main theme played badly. And I just think it's like really funny for some reason. So again, I would like to have that on standby for future Sonic runs, potentially in the future. I also don't know if I should skip this cutscene, because again, I have been skipping the repeat cutscenes, but that was also like last time, so maybe we'll let it play.
Stop fooling around and give me back my emeralds.
What are you babbling about? You call yourself a hunter attacking a lady? Shame on you!
What kind of lady goes around stealing gems anyway?
Those belong to me! Ah! Ah! What in the world? Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me.
Is that how you say thanks to someone who just saved your life?
Saving my life. Don't think I owe you one. You just wanted to hold my hand, didn't you? That's why you saved me. You're such a creep.
This isn't a joke, you know. Think what you want, Batgirl. I was saving the Master Emerald.
No matter what you say, it sounds crazy.
What?
Fine, then just take them. They stink like echidnas do.
If that's what you thought, you should have given me them in the first place. Finally!
What?
I'm sorry if I hurt you.
We should get going.
What's Rouge up to anyway? This is strange. It's showing energy readings from 2 separate Chaos Emeralds. Did they really think they could trick me with that fake emerald? Wait, Shadow. I'm the one who should be telling them the end is near, not you. Now is the time to end this long drawn-out battle. Mark myself a place in history as the ultimate genius. If something happens to me, I'm counting on you to finish the job. Hurry! The moment for attack has come. It's now or never!
I'm inclined to agree that this is Eggman's best theme. Also, do you ever think about how Eggman's jaw works backwards, where basically his jaw is attached to his neck, and then his head is moving up and down as he talks? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but that's always something that stood out about a lot of the cutscenes in this game, and I almost feel like they don't do it that way in terms of animating it that way in other Sonic games. So I had a fun experience the other day. So while I was setting up stream stuff, I decided to do a randomizer run, just to test out like capture and everything. And I had the fun experience of having to do the stage as a speed character. I had to play through the stage as Amy, who is not affected by gravity the same way that Eggman is. So she has normal gravity in this stage because they never thought you would be able to play hero character or like, you know, speed characters in mech stages. Also, thank you for the follow. Again, this is only my second like commentated stream, so it does really mean a lot to me that it's gone relatively well so far. Again, I would like to stream semi-regularly. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Again, the Splatfest for Splatoon 3 is actually tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'll stream that because I might be too tired after the stream. Hi Amy, how are you doing? So yeah, actually playing this game through randomizers is really fascinating because you will get character combos that are not intended to go through them. So playing this stage as Amy, basically what you have to do with any speed character actually is basically land on one of the like pyramid thingies that Eggman would normally blow up, and then do a spin dash jump. So it's actually really fun, but also really disorienting. So yeah, like here, you'd have to land on that as a speed character, and then spin dash jump. And the answer, as always, is, oh, you know. I didn't say it right. I didn't say it with enough sass. I need to get used to that. Oh, you know. Did I miss the upgrade? Did I just fall right past the upgrade? Because if I did, that would be really upsetting. But there's a very high likelihood I just did. Because I'm not entirely paying attention. I don't know, this chat just really likes giving head pats, and I think that's valid. This is actually a weird stage for A ranks too, because they actually raised it for GameCube. It's actually way harder than on Dreamcast. It's like, I think it's like 20,000 on Dreamcast, and like 80,000 on GameCube onwards. So this is like the worst stage for A ranks, despite, in my opinion, being one of the best Dark Story stages. Not going for A ranks. I just find it really frustrating because I ended up having to play it like a dozen times to try to get the A rank. beyond that, this is a really fun stage though. The gravity does help it to feel a little bit more like a platformer, less like, you know, just a straightforward mech stage. And the music's good, but again, that's not really saying a whole lot. Like, what stage in this game doesn't have good music, basically? You can probably count them on one hand in terms of songs that, like, I don't enjoy. It's almost non-existent. And it's just mostly stylistic. Obviously, like, Knuckles' theme is really popular. I'm just not a fan of, like, the genre, basically. But it's still a well-done song for what it is basically my take. We might have a problem. But we will see if I messed up or not. Nope, it's right here, I think. Nope. Genuinely, I'm like, did I just go straight past the upgrade? Because I'm really starting to think I did. So yeah, I'm not sure I made that mistake. Like, a couple times. Like, Final Rush, I get why I forgot about the Mystic Melody. The armor is like literally along the main path, so I'm not entirely sure how I, like, forgot to look for it. So yeah, we'll have an interesting Tails fight then, because if we don't have the armor, we will probably be in trouble. I'm also not sure if I should go back through the stage, like through stage select, to get that, and maybe some other upgrades too, just to make my life easier going forward. Basically here, you want to jump at the apex, and then try to hover, like so, but again, in general, this is a fun stage. Also for A ranks though, it's also annoying because this is probably the longest Eggman stage, so if you do mess up, you have to redo a lot. And a lot of times you'll just get to the end and just be short points, basically. But again, it is something I would love to do again, trying to 100% as many Sonic games as possible. The only one I'm kind of like, on is Unleashed HD, because the hot dog missions are so strict in terms of requirements, like having to do Eggman Land deathless like 3 times with various like with a time limit basically. That just sounds like not fun to me, so I've never actually done Unleashed 100%, as much as I like Unleashed, and again, I tend to like the game and defend it quite a bit, because despite the werehog and everything, I think the game is actually quite overhated. But again, just the hot dog missions make me not want to 100% it, and also the moon medals are awful. Again, I will defend normal Eggman Land. I will actually say it's overhated. It is like the hardest Sonic stage, but I think it's earned. Because it's not hard in a cheap way, it's hard in a way that genuinely feels like a proper application of everything you've been through up to that point throughout the rest of the game. So again, I actually will say, I think Unleashed Eggman Land, or Unleashed HD Eggman Land is a little bit overhated. But again, that doesn't mean I want to do it, you know, deathless, essentially. Also, I'm realizing how hard it is to talk in this register, and that's probably why I felt really bad yesterday, is because trying to actually, like, keep resonance in mind and everything is really difficult, actually. Again, I've done basically no voice training. This is just kind of how I sound, while also being cognizant of resonance to some level, but I haven't ever done any like formal voice training. This whole process of coming out has been like very scuffed in my opinion. I definitely don't fall into a lot of the traditional coming out stories. I don't know why I'm talking about this during this stage of all places, but here we go. You're doing great, seriously, thank you. I hope I am, because again, it's like, I can't tell how I sound, obviously, because I have like headphones on, and then also everyone's voices sound different to them compared to what other people hear. Yeah, that was not a good run. I mean, we're only like 9,000 short though, so all things considered, that wasn't awful. Again, unless I'm forgetting the actual score, which I might be.
Darn, why do they always leave a sweet little innocent girl like me alone?
Well, well, young lady. Is there something I can help you with?
Dr. Eggman!
If you value your life, you will tell me where Sonic and Tails are. Let's take care of business first, shall we, Sonic? Hand over the Chaos Emerald, slowly, and then we'll talk about your girlfriend. That is, if you really care for her.
Handing over the fake emerald? I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Put the emerald down right there and back off.
You've turned into a big-time villain, Doctor.
Whoa! You thought you could trick me with that fake emerald, didn't you?
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Tails!
Because you just told me, Fox Boy. Now, for a little space ride. The capsule clears the colony. Bam!
I'm counting on you, Tails. And Amy, take care of yourself.
Farewell, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic!
Farewell, Sonic, my admirable adversary.
Sonic!
Now we have some unfinished business to take care of. If you give me the real emerald, I will release you both. You have my promise.
Sonic!
Huh?
Sonic's asking for the first time to do something for him. I won't let him down. I won't give up. What have you done to Sonic? I'll never forgive you for this.
Alright, so I'm going to give this like maybe 3 attempts, and if we don't get it in 3 attempts, I will go back and get the armor, because I don't know how easy this fight's going to be. I am amazed I actually lived through that. I don't know how that didn't hit me, but cool. What happened? Nothing happened. There it is. It was like very delayed for some reason. We might get this first try. Never mind, we're good. We might still get the armor before the final story though, just because it's difficult. And maybe a couple of the other upgrades too.
I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
Legend has it, when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, the power creates a miracle. I have 6 of them. They're mine. All mine.
I don't think so.
Shadow.
So that was your plan from the very beginning, huh? Or was it a direct order from the president? Now I know who you are. You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat, aren't you?
So you did your homework, is that it? I would say that's an invasion of privacy.
I could say the same thing about you.
It looks like things aren't quite going your way. But since my job was done, I thought it was time to take what's mine and get out of this place.
You are one pathetic creature.
Look who's talking. What about you? Here are the results of the research project called the Ultimate Life Form. But if this picture is of the real ultimate life form named Shadow, then exactly who or what is standing in front of me?
This is Dr. Eggman. I have found all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Shadow, someone's trying to get to Eclipse Cannon. There's not much time left before the cannon fires again. Can you get over there?
If you want to live, leave the Chaos Emeralds where they are. The fake emerald is good enough for you.
Do you actually believe that you're the real Shadow?
No doubt.
Even your memory might not be real, you know?
Even if my memories are not real, it's still me, Shadow. And I will fulfill my promise to Maria. That's the only thing that matters to me now.
I feel like I had a thought about that cutscene and I already forgot what it was. Oh right, the Biolizard photo. I'm not used to seeing it that high res, to be honest. I don't know if that's like an odd thing to notice, but yeah, it's like weird seeing some of these textures and actually being able to like read text and stuff on them. Again, I am using some mods to like clean up the graphics and everything. Anyway, last dark story level. This level is kind of annoying because the spinning drums are kind of like glitchy. If they cooperate, this level's not bad, but we'll see if they cooperate or not. She has been a lizard the whole time. Basically, they've never explained the connection there, actually, and I want to say there was recently an interview with Izuka, where he was just very vague about everything yet again. So either, I wonder if it'll come up in the new game. I almost feel like if it will come up at any time, this is the time to do it. Partially just because, based on Frontiers, Ian Flynn likes digging incredibly deep into the lore, which I have interesting opinions on. Like, some good, some bad. Like, sometimes I think canonizing some things is nice, canonizing others are like, yeah, we really don't need to acknowledge free writers in canon. We can just pretend in canon that things end at zero gravity, personally. Oh, that's another game I should stream, is, Writers. Because, I do like Sonic Riders a lot. I played it a ton. It was a weird game because it's actually a game I got really, really mad at when I first played it, because, Sonic Riders has a really, really bad, bad learning curve. Like, the tutorial's kind of just tucked away, and it's really easy to miss. So, I do not understand that reference for the record. So I have no clue what's being discussed in chat right now. That's okay. Yeah, I also forgot the Mystic Melody of Sonic, so I'll have to go back for that if we decide to resume this file at some point to try to get some of the other missions done. Again, I'm not really sure if I want to, if I just want to move on to other things, and then just continue this on my own time and try to get the remaining emblems. My childhood file, I think I lost because of a corrupted memory card, but I want to say I got up to probably about 140 emblems as a kid, which I don't know how I did that. There was a lot of things I don't know how I did so easily as a kid. For example, I actually think Guilty Gear X2 has a really... Oh, the murder of Sonic. Oh, that's why I don't remember it. I think I missed a lot of that stream. I think I only caught parts of that. I never actually went around to... got around to rewatching the whole thing. Oh, it's not that? Okay. I do like the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. That'd be another one where, like I was saying earlier, it might be funny sometime, or fun sometime to just try to, you know, get a bunch of friends into a voice call and try to, like, go through Murder of Sonic and see how that goes. Because again, I think my friends are very funny and I appreciate them. Hey, remember what I said about the spinning drums being kind of annoying? We're actually having a pretty good time here. I haven't gotten like stuck on any yet, which can sometimes happen. Yeah, it's only like 2 hours long. It's like, it's a free game. But I also wonder if that's canon. I have a theory on the canonicity of the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm not sure if I should say it if Peter hasn't played it yet, because it is spoilers for a couple things actually. But I have a weird theory about the timeline placement of it. Okay, I should not have said the drums were being nice so far. You can be Amy if you want, but again, this is all just camera? Okay, this is all just a lot of hypothetical planning at this point, but again, I would like to do collabs at some point with a lot of my friends, I don't know if it'd be a collab per se, but just like have more people on a call, and not just, you know, be by myself commentating. Again, partly to spare my own voice with some games having a lot of dialogue, like Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know who I would want to be in something like that, to be honest. We should almost be to the end, right? This stage isn't too long. For like a final stage at least. This should be the end, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we might go back before starting the final story. We might go and get some of the upgrades. Hey, remember when he said this would be a short stream? If we actually go for the upgrades, it'll be another like 40 minutes probably. So maybe I shouldn't. Blaze is a very good character. I wish it was some more things. Yeah, that was actually not bad. Again, some difficulties, but not nearly as bad as some. Though again, maybe it's just I'm not an impatient child anymore, and actually sort of will try to play around the game's physics instead of trying to brute force
Ultimate victory.
the physics to work properly, if that makes sense. I'm like taking my time on the level, not just rushing through, ironically.
You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard.
So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
All right, Shadow. Time for me to finish this.
Alright, final boss of Dark Story. Same fight. We just have to wait and then counter. Again, we can brute force this fight, but again, I'd rather not take too many chances. The fight's really short anyway, if you just take your time. Though again, I think speedrun is just basically button mash to get through this. And basically, as soon as Sonic touches the ground, his hitbox is active, so that will count as a hit. But again, I tend to fall off the stage if I try to button mash this. I like how it keeps bouncing me into the Sonic wind, so I'm still taking damage from it, despite also getting the hit in. This is a very well-programmed video game, sometimes.
The ultimate.
This completes my plan to take over the world. Now begins the glorious era of the Empire of Eggman.
So that takes care of the Dark Story. Again, I think I'll get the upgrades first, just to make this a little bit easier. In general, I think the Dark Story is pretty good. I think the Hero Story has better levels, but also some pretty low lows. Though again, I think the Dark Story ultimately has the absolute low point of Mad Space. Beyond that though, it's pretty interesting how this one leads more directly into the last story. I kind of like that in some ways, but it kind of makes it feel... I don't know, maybe I should save that for when I talk, if I play Shadow, because again, I probably will do a Shadow run or 5 before Generations comes out. Because again, I have a lot of quote-unquote nostalgia for Shadow the Hedgehog, or maybe that's trauma, I actually don't know which it is at times. But again, it is fascinating how that game is. But again, I've done 5 routes off stream, like just on my own time, when the Doom Powers trailer dropped. I was like, I actually want to play Shadow the Hedgehog, and that's how good that trailer was. So I've done 5 of the routes, I would do the other 5, and then the last story. It would probably take 3 streams, so maybe we'll do that soon. I might move it to a different time slot. I might have like a mainstream game on like Monday, Wednesday, and then like a short thing that won't take too many streams on like a Friday. So like maybe on Fridays we'll do Shadow the Hedgehog. This weekend's the Splatfest though, and again, I don't know what to do with that because technically it starts tomorrow. But I don't know how tired I'm going to be. I'd like to stream tomorrow, maybe just like an hour stream of just, you know, trying out the Splatfesting, what it's like, and then come back for the special stage on Sunday and do another short bonus stream of sorts. But again, that might actually take the spot of Friday this week, if that makes sense. Shadow's a fascinating game, and it has some really funny lines. So at the very least, I do like the funny moments of the game that aren't meant to be funny, but end up being very quotable. Not even just the obvious, oh, find the computer room and all that. There's a lot of really, like, memorable moments in Shadow the Hedgehog. It's just the gameplay is very slippery. It's actually Heroes, but slipperier. So it tends to kind of lose people just because it feels so loose. But if you get used to it, it's actually a okay game. But then the mission structure is another wrinkle. But again, I'll go through that at a later time if we're streaming Shadow anyway.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos
Vengeance.
control.
Space calling prayer.
Supersonic.
Collision.
Untamed power. of
Maria.
Chaos Emerald.
Professor Gerald, the truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.
You know, it's kind of fun actually seeing some of the stuff because it's like, it's one of those things where it feels very overwrought for a Sonic game of all things, but it's like, how old would I have been? Like 8 at the time. This is like the coolest thing actually, though I wouldn't have actually finished it when I was 8, because I got stuck on Security Hall and Aquatic Mine. But again, whenever I finished it, it's like, a lot of the little teasers at the end, again, the hero side story or the dark side first ends with, or has some line in it that's like, you know, Sonic being arrested increased worldwide terrorism or something like that. It's like, they did not need to go this hard with the writing, but they did, and it's like, I like this a lot. It's a game that is near and dear to my heart, and again, I'm glad to be streaming it. It feels like a very good first stream, quote-unquote first stream, because again, there was a test stream last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. That's the thing, I think Sonic works the best, and again, this has been an argument that has been rehashed since the dawn of time, but I think Sonic is a game that works best as a franchise the more anime it goes. Like, go all in, basically, is my stance on Sonic, because I feel like all of the best Sonic moments are just shown in anime tropes. Like, look at Frontiers. It's just literally shown in anime tropes, and that's not meant derisively, it is 100% meant as a compliment. It's like, again, maybe I would love to stream Frontiers someday, but the final boss of Final Horizon is like the hypest shit in this franchise, and as much as I have misgivings about Final Horizon because of the boss rush and the towers, it's one of those things where replaying it post-patch and not having to deal with the garbage of that initial difficulty spike, and just getting to kind of appreciate everything and not having the bad to drag down the good, it's like, dang, that is a good-ass final boss in terms of like cinematic portrayal. In terms of like actual play value, sometimes it can be a little bit dicey. Again, like, the trees kind of get in the way a lot in terms of scenery, and being able to actually see. But in terms of, like, just the overall coolness of Frontiers, you've been spoiler-free. Wow, that's impressive, given how much people keep raving about it. I'm kind of that way with a few games, like, Undertale Yellow is the game that I've mostly avoided spoilers on, and I saw one thing yesterday because someone I follow on Twitter did fan art, so I know, like, basically the main antagonist's design, but I've basically avoided everything else on Undertale Yellow. Would it be a bad idea to do an Undertale stream and actually do all the endings to try to see if I can actually do the super hard final boss? Like, it just kind of hit me. It's like, what if I tried that? Would I regret that? Probably. Anyway, I'm actually finishing the stage. We don't have to keep the upgrade, but we didn't actually take Sonic to the Chow Garden, so I figured we'd stop by the end of this level just to unlock this, basically.
That was cool!
In general, though, I think the trick is to not follow the things you like so the algorithms can't suggest it to you. That makes a lot of sense. And my problem is I like looking at fan art, so I end up following a lot of things of everybody, so I end up seeing everything. I have an idea. We have 2,800 rings, so we should be good to go. I want to ask something, but that will give away my plan, unfortunately. So I'm trying to decide what to do. I'm spending a lot of time thinking this through, probably too much time. Anyway, let's just get a move on for now. Drop off the Chow drives and everything. Get so curious and then end up spoiling things. That's what I do. For example, I'm not going to say what, because, you know, it's only a 2-year-old game, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is an example where, like, I got spoiled on something, like, literally the ending of the game a week before it came out, because someone had already gotten a copy early and then data mined it, so a specific part of the ending, if you know, you know, I saw immediately, because people would not shut up about it, basically. It's an eternal mood, yeah. I just can't help it. I like looking at spoilers. A lot of times spoilers make me more excited. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people are like, I want to go in and know nothing about something. In my case, a lot of times I like knowing things because if I know it's coming, that keeps me invested. So for example, a good example... Clearly, I'm very good at talking. For example, Sonic Frontiers. That final boss is not, like... You have to work for that final boss. And I mean, it's definitely worth it, but, like, knowing what is going to happen is, like, definitely part of the reason I stuck out Final Horizon the first time, because I was not having a good time. But I wanted to experience the final boss because everyone was like, oh my god, look at this, and it looks amazing. So yeah, a lot of times it is just a case of, this just makes me more hyped for something. If I know there's gonna be some, like, peak thing, then that's just gonna make me want to play it more. So a lot of times people, like Xenoblade 3 is a really good example. I'm not gonna say what, but basically there are cases of, like, oh, really, like, amazing thing happens at this point. So what does that do? That either sets expectations too high, or, but in my case, it just kind of makes me look forward to it more, because it's like, there is a risk of, like, overdoing hype. That is 100% a concern of, like, oh, well, this can't live up to it. But, like, there is some really good stuff in Xenoblade 3. Hi, Roto. My logic with spoilers is you can always learn them if you want, but you can't unlearn them if you don't want them, unlike surprises. That is also fair. There have been a couple of times with Nintendo Directs I've done that, where it's like, sometimes I'll just YOLO it and just look up what's in a Direct. Like the Partner Direct, I haven't even watched it, I just saw what people were saying on Twitter about it. Also, hi Roto, I hope you're doing well. But also, like the Direct That Thousand Year Door remake got announced on, I'm very glad. I don't know what it was, but I just had this vibe of like, I'm gonna go in blind. I don't want to know anything about this. And it paid off because it was a really cool surprise. I'm glad I didn't get spoiled on it. But a lot of times for Directs, I tend to be a very like, whatever about it. Like, Partner Directs especially. Been quietly lurking for some time. That's fair. I tend to lurk as well a lot. I tend to just be kind of in the background of a lot of streams, have like a million tabs open at once, basically. Crosscode with minimal spoilers was definitely something. Do I own Crosscode? I actually don't know if I have that, or if I'm thinking of Cosmic Star Heroine. I think that's what I'm thinking of. But I have too many games, and I, again, have been saving a lot of them for streaming, but that just means I've built up an even bigger backlog than I meant to, so oops. But again, hopefully we'll be able to go through everything. Just like me, for real, for real. I don't know what that's referring to specifically, but thank you. Frontiers Blind is an interesting experience. I don't remember how much I knew about it, to be honest. I definitely was there like day one, but I don't remember how much I knew going in.
I did it!
Yeah, I did see that hard mode had something, like a bonus thing, so I did do that first try, because everyone was like warning about that at the time.
I did it, Sonic!
Oh yeah, we got the laser blaster. That's like a spread shot, basically, so it has like a shockwave around it, so it's a slightly stronger projectile. Didn't really acknowledge that at all. So yeah, we're basically just going through, stocking up before the final stretch of the game. I like how I've barely had to use my intermission screen, just because this game has such long cutscenes. If I need to step away, I can just do that. But yeah, I really do feel like spoilers don't do much for me to detract from an experience. I'm like really easygoing about that, and like for a lot of things I will deliberately look up spoilers because I want to know and I'm impatient. Like in TV shows, if there's like a really good cliffhanger, sometimes I'll just Google what happens because I don't want to wait to see the resolution of it, which is probably kind of backwards. That defeats the purpose of the cliffhanger. But that is genuinely how I approach spoilers for things I really care about. How many upgrades do we want to go out of our way for is my question right now. Like, I think I'll skip the Mystic Melodies for now, just for the sake of time. Maybe again, if we continue this file later on, we'll go back for those, but for now, I think I'll just stick to the main, like, attack upgrades for the sake of getting a move on. I'm trying to remember which game Crosscode is. There have been so many, like, indie RPGs lately. That's not a bad thing, by any means, but, like, what's the other one that people have been raving about? In Stars in Time, I think that's the one that people are, like, heavily talking up right now, or at least they were. It's one real obvious optional one that you really want for Canon's Core. I did get the air necklace last time. It was a whole thing. I went through the wrong tunnel, like, 5 times trying to find it. So we were on Aquatic Mine for quite a bit of time, to be honest. Longer than I would have liked, but eventually found it, because I ended up looking up a guide, and also someone in chat was also trying to point me in the right direction, basically. So yeah, in general, I have been enjoying streaming. It's been a nice little way to, like, unwind, I guess. Not that this is really unwinding, it's work, basically. But just kind of a nice way to chill out with a game I enjoy. Again, at some point, I would like to do first-time playthroughs, which is going to be interesting, because I have a lot of games in mind for that. I've also thought about opening it up to, like, viewer suggestions, but again, the way that would make the most sense is through, like, you know, channel points and subs and stuff like that, which I do not have, because I'm not at that point yet, so a lot of things are just kind of a work in progress at the moment until I get to that point, if that happens. It's fine if I don't. I'm not trying to, like, say this to, like, rush this, basically. But just, like, I mean, Yakuza's on the list, somewhere. I forget where on the list it is, but it's definitely on the list of games I want to do, potentially on stream, though again, that's like an 8-hour game, that'll take forever, unless I build up enough stamina to actually do much longer playthroughs.
Stage select.
Chaos has endless breath underwater. I don't know if I knew that, actually. That would be very helpful for Cannon's Core. But anyway, speaking of Cannon's Core, we got all the essential upgrades, so let's get started with the last story.
What's going on? Why doesn't the cannon fire? What's happening here? It's my grandfather, Gerald Robotnik.
What's that vibration?
Hey, wait! Someone is coming.
You haven't given up yet?
Oh, it's all over for us.
What do you mean?
I just received a message from my boss. This space colony Ark is currently approaching the Earth at an incredible velocity. It probably will impact Earth.
What's that on the screen?
This is a death sentence for every human being on Earth. If my calculations are correct, the space colony Ark will impact the Earth in 27 minutes and 53 seconds. All of you will be destroyed, along with your beloved planet Earth.
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. Once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No. Ready!
What's going on here? Who is that?
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge.
The vibration's getting
once all the
worse.
Professor Gerald Robotnik, one of the greatest scientific minds in the world, and my grandfather.
What? I knew you were behind all this. Stop it right now, or else...
I'd have done this a long time ago if I had the chance.
What do you mean?
You're pretty persistent for a hedgehog, aren't you? You're still alive,
Just
huh?
letting Knuckles pilot the shuttle on the way over here was more dangerous than you could ever be.
What is this?
This is my grandfather's diary.
I don't quite know what happened or what went wrong. Was it a mistake to create the ultimate life form? I thought it would be something that would benefit mankind, but then the military guards landed on the colony that day. They were sent to destroy the research project that I had been working on. My colleagues at the research facility, my granddaughter, Maria, I hope you are all safe. The colony was completely shut down, probably to keep the prototype from falling into the wrong hands.
The Ark was shut down under the premise that there had been an accident. I found Maria's name among those who died when the Ark was shut down. She meant everything to me, and I couldn't bear the thought that she died because of my research. I lost everything. I had nothing more to live for. I went insane! All I could think about was to avenge her. Somehow, some way. I got scared as I no longer was able to control my thoughts. All I could think about was that I wanted it all to end. Based on my original projections, I was able to complete my project, Shadow. I designed its mind to be perfect, pure. I will leave everything to him. If you wish, release and awaken it
If
to
you
the
wish to
world.
fill the world with destruction... Oh, so that's why you released Shadow from the
Core
base.
of the Eclipse cannon is now highly reactive and explosive. This is because the original Chaos Emerald is overpowered. If the colony collides with Earth, it will shatter into pieces like my grandfather predicted. That mad scientist!
That should be you, right? We have to stop the space colony now!
The space colony arc position may have shifted due to the amount of energy given off by the emeralds. We have to stop the energy.
But how?
That's it. There is a way to stop the energy. We have to use your emerald. You're the one that told me that the Master Emerald has the power to stop the Chaos Emerald.
That's right. If I use this, I just might be able to stop the Chaos Emerald.
The reaction of the Chaos Emeralds is moving toward the cannon's core. It may be too late.
There still may be some time left. If we pull together, we might be able to get to the shortcut that leads to the core.
No worries. Just leave it to me. I'm the world's fastest hedgehog.
Then, let's get to work!
System alert. System alert. The intruder has breached the system area. Initiate debug program.
I've actually never thought about that, like, if that is an accurate representation of the stage. I don't know, actually. Never really looked that closely. Also, yeah, the cutscene with Gerald Robotnik goes... Again, it's one of those things that goes much harder than it really needed to. And again, it's one of the things I really appreciate about Sonic Adventure 2, is just how extra it is. Again, Sonic, in my opinion, works best when you just go full out with it, like, as extra as possible. Time to go to the wiki, yeah. I'm sure someone will have compiled it if that is the case. Cannon's Core is a weird level. I also got stuck on this level for the longest time as a kid because I didn't know about the air necklace. I found out about it through, I think, the official Sonic website's guide for Sonic Adventure. So what happened was, I just got stuck on the stage for the longest time, and then basically had to go back and try to find that, and then I was able to get through it like no problem, because of course I did. Past the water section, everything else in the stage is like no problem. It's literally just that one part that's like really annoying. Also, you know what? Something else I wanted to do, and I forgot to mention? I'd really like to do randomizers or something at some point. Maybe even like a solo archipelago, or even with friends, potentially, if I can ever set up something like that. But yeah, I have way too many streaming plans, is the overall takeaway from all of this. It's like, I have a lot in mind, and I don't know if I have the spoons to do it, so we'll see how much of this actually ever happens, but just one of those things I'm definitely overthinking. Yeah, I've never done an archipelago, or even like finish the randomizer, I think. Most randomizers I do, I get like partway through, and then get frustrated and stop. Like, Zelda randomizers I tend to bail on just because I lose patience, to be totally honest. Wind Waker, though, is my favorite Zelda of, like, the old school ones, so I do think that's part of the problem, because Wind Waker is probably one of the most, like, overwhelming in terms of, like, amount of items you can get. Nothing in the wiki, so yeah, it's probably just a generic map. Based on how we're basically falling, though, it kind of makes sense that we're going down towards the core. Also, this music is very good. That was stupid, but somehow paid off, basically. We talked a few times about doing an archipelago of sorts. Yeah, I really would like to do one at some point, though I don't know what game I'd want to do. Link's Awakening, not to be cliche, but Celeste 64 is definitely up there. Oh yeah, Celeste is a game I want to stream at some point. Again, not to be cliche, but again, at this point I'd probably be more inclined to stream 64 rather than main game, just because I can beat Celeste 1 in like several hours, but meanwhile Celeste 64 would only take me maybe like 40 minutes, so for like this level of streaming I might make that like a one-off day, just playing like Celeste 64 and seeing how that goes. I've already played it a few times, so I think I'm pretty familiar with how to get through it, so it should be relatively fast. I've seen some screenshots of parts of the map out of bounds, and it's very filled with corridors and single-use rooms. Interesting. That would make sense because of just like the layout. Can I reach it from here? Nope. Would have been cool if I could have, but oh well. I think you're supposed to use a different block, but that works, so oh well. Also, I'm pretty sure enemies are supposed to fall. Or maybe not, I guess. Okay. Either way, on to Rouge. That makes sense. It's coming out in like a month, right? So yeah, it makes sense that we're probably gonna get something new. Also, can we talk about the key art for a moment? The key art is like insane. I was like weird. I'm in a weird boat every time. This happens every time with Sonic, where I'm like, I don't know how excited I am for the next Sonic game. Like, I hope it's good, but I'm not like, you know, bursting with confidence in it, basically. And then as we get closer, it's like, wait a minute, this might actually be like the one of sorts. Frontiers got real close, but just had a couple of like missteps. If the overall pacing of Shadow Generations is better, which I think it will be, here's the thing. My personal stance on the matter is, I think... Brain, come on, you can do this. I think with Sonic and Shadow, I was kind of hesitant because I was like a little bit on the fence after Frontiers. I'm pretty sure at one point after Frontiers, I kind of swore off Sonic games, like straight up. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna play the next Sonic game that comes out, because I was really not feeling, you know, first patch Final Horizons. But looking at Shadow Generations, I think having a smaller scope for it, will make the open world stuff feel less, like, draining. So I am actually looking forward to having, like, a smaller open world experience with, like, the same level quality of the good parts of Frontiers, if that makes sense. But again, Frontiers was kind of a game I wanted to like more than it actually did, and it didn't help that I played on Switch at first, which definitely is not great for a game that already has draw distance problems, to have even worse draw distance. And also just the frame rate being so choppy, like, oh, here's a counter window that's like 8 frames. Also, now it's 4 frames because you're playing on Switch. So, yeah, the final stretch was not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So that was on me. I should definitely have not gone for the Switch version, but I was mostly just morbidly curious to see how it would run on Switch, and the answer is not well. It's actually... it's not that bad. I'm overselling it, basically. It's perfectly playable, it's just definitely compromised, and after playing it, like, on Xbox, I don't think I'd be able to go back. So yeah, we do have the air necklace, so this should be a piece of cake. Did I get the magic hands? I did. Okay. I briefly forgot, so that could have been bad if we didn't have it, because there's like the one level where it's really helpful. Alright, so we got this laser grid, and this is like the tightest timing window. It's really annoying actually how like precise this is, because if you like clip the box at all, you basically don't have enough time. So oftentimes, even like without the air necklace, you also have the added stress of, oh yeah, you're drowning. So it's really easy to make a mistake. Frontiers Beat Colors is my favorite Sonic game. due to the fact it made me think so much of my childhood, seeing all the stuff of Sonic fighting like DBZ, SMBZ, Nazar Unleashed, Final Fantasy, Sonic X. Nazar Unleashed, that is a throwback right there. Yeah, gone right to the end of the tube and gotten sucked back in. Yeah, that happens. It's really unfortunate when it happens. But again, this is like the one point where the magic hands is actually really helpful. Because you can actually just grab this enemy out of the air and not have to go all the way over there and risk that homing attack. So now we have a little chaos in a ball. I say as I immediately lose it because I run into an enemy. Yeah, I think I've warmed up to Frontiers. My first playthrough was just also not the most pleasant, but again, playing through it a second time, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. I still think it's like a good framework. I don't think it's quite there for me yet, and that's why I am excited to see Shadow Generations, because it might be closer, like, to what I want for the next 3D Sonic game. Now Sonic has Marth's grab range. Very good point. Should I play Smash Bros on stream? That might be a thing. I don't know if it'll go well or not, to be honest. It's been forever since I played Smash, but it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to do multiplayer stuff at some point. Which also reminds me, I should probably renew the Nintendo Online at some point.
I hate it when they leave me behind. Look, it's Shadow. I really gotta stop whining. Everyone's trying their best to help out, and so must I. Shadow, we need you. Please help us.
It's all going according to plan. There's no reason for me to help them. Besides, there's no way to save anyone.
There has to be. I know that people fight over the most trivial things. Some people may be selfish, like the professor said. But they're basically good if they try their best and never give up on their wishes. They always have a reason to be happy. That's why you should help them out. Saving them is a good thing. Shadow, I beg you, please do it for them. Give them a chance.
Shadow, I beg of you, please, do it for me. For a
Maria!
better future. For all people who live on that planet, give them a chance to be happy. Let them live for their dreams. Shadow, I know you can do it. That's the reason why you were brought into this world. Sayonara, Shadow the
That's what I
Hedgehog.
promised her. And I must keep that promise. That's what
Shadow?
Maria wished for. I've got to go now. I have to keep my promise to Maria and you.
What's that? It looks just like the shrine of the Master Emerald.
They probably designed the core like the shrine to harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel
Knuckles, here
my
it comes.
loss and despair. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
Could this be the prototype of the ultimate life form that was supposed to be encapsulated?
Leave this one to me.
Shadow, what are you doing?
I'll take care of this while you run to get the Chaos Emeralds.
So I don't know if this is a take or not, but I actually have gotten to the point where I think Supporting Me is my favorite vocal theme of Sonic Adventure 2. I feel like the song gets overlooked, partly because the fight itself is so difficult and glitchy, to be honest. Why does it sound like an elephant? Also a very good question. And yeah, for some reason they say adios instead of sayonara in Japanese, which is like... I guess maybe it makes sense because if she said sayonara in the Japanese version, it would just be goodbye. It's actually one of my pet peeves with Shadow the Hedgehog, but again, I'll save that for later. Now, a lot of cutscenes just abruptly cut, which is weird. No, like, proper transition or anything. It's such a weird out-of-left-field boss, though. Like, again, this game just kind of punches above its weight in terms of, like, story. Like, it just does a lot of things it really didn't need to do, but I appreciate that it did it. Alright, so, this sucks. I have this weird strategy where I just kind of, like, hug the wall and roll, because trying to roll, like, towards or away just kind of messes up the fight, in my opinion, so I try to stay relatively, evenly spaced from the Bio-Lizard during the energy phase. I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention in chat that had come up earlier, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh right, the thing about Frontiers. Yeah, Frontiers had a huge uphill battle, and like Sega being like, oh yeah, we want to actually like fun Sonic games now was really good news. Because again, you can tell that Frontiers is just absolutely running up against its budget, and that's like 100% my critique of Frontiers, is you can just see like, even something as simple as how Sonic animates, you can tell the difference between, like, Island 1 and, like, the end. Where it's like, Sonic's animation is a lot stiffer, he's a lot less expressive, and it's just because they're running out of money and time, and it's a bummer. And again, I almost wish, it had gotten the time it deserved to iron everything out. But I still think Frontiers is still a really solid Sonic game in its own right. And again, easily the best, like, direction in a Sonic game in a long time. Oh boy, we're off to a great start with this fight. Okay, okay, so far so good, I think. If Shadow will aim at the right target, at least. Which is easier said than done for this game. There we go. No problem. All fine here. Please tell me I left a ring. Like, there's a very high chance I didn't leave a ring, which means we'll probably die on this fight, so... Okay, we have one ring. Okay, we have to make this count. Never mind, we have no rings. This is gonna be fun. If we actually get this first try, I'll be amazed. I'm really bad at the last phase, especially. So we'll see how this goes. Also, just the hitboxes are really not my friend today, apparently. Yeah, we'll probably die here, but it's fine. Or I can get that first try. Cool. That works. So now we immediately go to the final phase. Also, the remix of Supporting Me for Shadow Generations is incredible. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought was gonna happen, to be honest. The mouth looks like a sock puppet. It kind of does, to be honest. It's a very odd design. Thanks so much, Shao. That wasn't my issue with the fight at all. So I'm just like probably gonna leave rings. I'm not gonna even bother collecting them unless I need them. That was my problem last time. It's just not thinking that through enough. There was actually some info about Generations today, from, I think, like, Sega Asia's website. They actually have, like, pictures of the white space entrances for a couple of stages, so that's cool. Not a huge spoiler since we already knew about the 3 stages in question, but my big question is, in the new key art, I feel like Shadow has 2 shadows, which is making me wonder if, like, for the TGS reveal, if the TGS reveal is going to be Mephiles. Yeah, Ark, Bullet Station, and Kingdom Valley. And we also have titles for these where they're like, oh, this is Space Colony Arc Act 1, which makes me wonder if Act 1 is Final Rush and Act 2 is Final Chase, for example. And like Bullet Station will be more like Rail Canyon for 1 and Bullet Station Fact 2 or something like that. I'm really curious to see what they do, and again, we really don't know much about the overall formatting of the actual like acts, like how much we have to do to unlock all the white space stuff. Yeah, being a boss trailer would be great. And again, I want to know if we end up having a Sonic reverse fight, because supposedly it's taking place concurrently with Generations. So my big question is, will we have a Sonic rival fight? That's just the main Generations fight, but other perspective. We do know the arc has an Act 2, which is in 2D and has the Doom Wings. Okay, so oh right, that would be a separate act, because we have seen it through, like, Summer Games Fest, so... I also hope that, in general, like, Act 2s have more 2D sections than Act 1, which is, again, partly just, like... I do feel like 2D sections can be a little bit overdone in Sonic games, especially when you have the freedom of movement of, like, Frontiers, and you're still kind of locked to 2D the whole time. I don't know what's happening with this game right now. It's throwing hands. Like, my biggest problem is just getting the lock-on to cooperate, because I'm holding forward, it's targeting everything around it, so, this is definitely not ideal, to be honest. I don't remember having this much trouble. I also wonder if it's playable on the show floor, because I know there were comments last time about placeholder music. So the theory right now is that the What I'm Made Of original being used for Metal Sonic, or Metal Overlord, is like placeholder. So I kind of wonder if we'll actually get like the actual remix for What I'm Made Of in a trailer. Assuming I'll get a remix if Supporting Me is. Because I'm really curious to see if they do that. Yeah, that's the other thought I had, is like the challenge gates, where it's like kind of a similar thing, where it's like you need a key to unlock story progress. But you can either do like this act or that act, kind of like Frontiers also, with like you just need a certain amount of keys for progression. You don't need like keys from an exact stage, so there's a flexibility. So I think I'll be kind of like that. Yeah, I'm like, I went from like, I'm cautious to, I'm actually like really excited for this. And this always happens with Sonic games, where I'm a little bit wary because of the previous one, but then I warm up by the time the game comes out. Usually, some exceptions obviously, like Forces is definitely one where I was hesitant going in, and hesitant the entire time, because overall reception was kind of like mixed. See, that'd be like a one-stream game right there. Forces is not that long. Yeah, I would like to go through all the Sonic games I can at some point. What's up with Radical Highway? Oh yeah, I forgot one of those can actually just kill you instantly. I forgot. What I wonder is, what is up with Radical Highway? Is it just going to be a distortion hallway through a level like Arc Act 1? See, that's the other thing. I kind of wonder if the SGF level is just a teaser of like, you know, a smash cut of other stages, where it's like sort of a tutorial level of sorts, where you start on the arc, you go through to Radical Highway, and then to Bio Lizard, I think, in the demo at least. Rage I felt when I was fighting this guy for the first time, and learned that the fluid could flush me away. Yeah, it's not great, to be honest. And again, this is why I think Supporting Me is one of the most like underrated songs, because most people just don't like the fight itself. Because it's just kind of glitchy, to be honest. That was almost bad. I'm trying to not collect rings, if you're wondering about all the acrobatics here. Trying to do my best to still dodge, though. So yeah, that's kind of my current theory. I have no clue if this is correct or not. But yeah, what we've seen of the Summer Game Fest demo was just like a prologue level that's not entirely designed to be indicative of the like full Act 1. If that were to be the case, it's a very detailed smash cut with professional transitions. What I mean is, like, the level itself is, like, just... It has those transitions where you go through level to level, but that's basically like the first act in Frontiers, where you're just thrown into cyberspace, like, and then you end up in the open world after. Like, this is the intro level to the open world, and kind of establishing, like, oh, you're gonna go through all these places later on throughout Shadow's campaign, or something like that. But, like, there might be a dedicated full act for the Ark, for example, and for Radical Highway, I hope, because I really like Radical Highway. The other hope I have is that they actually mix and match across games, because, to be honest, theming-wise, Shadow and Sonic Adventure 2 have a lot of repeats. So, for example, you could easily do, like, just Westopolis, kind of, and lump it into Radical Highway, potentially, or, like, dang it. Was not locked on. You could lump in, what's the motorcycle level in Shadow? I forget the name of it.
Did you see the egg-like attack?
Which is weird, because again, I just played this game not that long ago, or at least part of it, and I did that level like 2 or 3 times. But like, the one where you have to like destroy the vehicle. There's a night version as a blimp, a sunset version with water cyclones, a daytime version with water cyclones as well. Dang. So yeah, I'm wondering if this is just gonna be like the challenge acts of Generations, or more like the cyberspace acts of Frontiers, where it's like, could we have up to 7 acts? I feel like that's almost unreasonable to expect in a way. I almost think maybe it'll be comparable to Frontiers, but instead of that many, maybe it'll be more like 5 acts per setting, basically. Oh, Lethal Highway, that's it. But yeah, that level. All I remember is that's the level where Sonic says damn, in terms of like dialogue, if you mess up. It's funny how much I was kind of bothered as a child playing Shadow the Hedgehog by all the swearing, yet I swear constantly now, as an adult. Damn, they got away, yeah, exactly. Again, Shadow the Hedgehog has so many, like, memorable quotes, and again, that's part of the reason why I want to go through it, to kind of show it off, because it's almost... I almost feel like it's a game that doesn't really get shown off a lot, so obviously we know about all the funny stuff in Adventure 2, or some of these other games. Yeah, it's like Sonic will just straight up say shit in the Japanese dub. I think there's a story about, like, the actor for Sonic does know English, so he tends to just inject English phrases into things, in the Japanese dub of Sonic, specifically. Also, I will say if I have one reservation about Shadow Generations is I've never really been a fan of the current era Shadow voice. I've always thought he was, like, serviceable, but I've always preferred, like, you know, Jason Griffith has always been my go-to Shadow the Hedgehog voice actor all this time, and nothing's really changed that ever since. Like, I've warmed up to Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, but Shadow's voice actor just hasn't gotten to do anything, to be honest. Shadow's barely been in this era, so I'm really curious to see how he sounds in a more extensive, non-boom capacity. Also, who's voicing Tails, if Tails ends up showing up? Because, like, Tails does have a different voice actress compared to Generations, if I'm not mistaken. Who's also the current actress in the movies. Which, by the way, I'm also surprised I haven't talked about the movie yet very much with, you know, all the Shadow stuff. The trailer was really good, admittedly. Again, I'm not, like, overly, like, the biggest fan of the Sonic movies. I think they're really good, but just have a couple, like, quirks that just kind of is something that goes hand in hand with making this a movie instead of, like, a game. But in general, I think the trailer for Sonic 3 is, like, really good. But I'm curious to see how much they try to adapt, like if they have the arc or anything. I kind of think they won't, partly just because of the budget of this movie. Yeah, it's not going to be exactly the same.
servers are the 7 Chaos. Chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos. Only you can do this. Stop the Chaos Emeralds! Is it gone?
Is that what chaos control is?
Since we've stopped the Chaos Emeralds, why is the space colony still on a crash course to Earth?
The prototype is still alive. He's controlling the space colony as it's linked to Earth. He's the one with the space colony is determined to keep it on its collision course.
Sonic?
Catching up on chat, I also really like how the ending of this game ties into Adventure 1 with like the recreation and recreation of the Shrine of the Master Emerald and yeah, Tikal's Prayer. It's just a really good like full circle moment for the adventure, is that even though people always, and myself included, will be like, oh, 06 is Adventure 3. It's like Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 feel like connected in a way, and also with like Tails being acknowledged to have saved Station Square and everything. It's like these two games have direct continuity with each other, which is why I think these really are the only Sonic Adventure games. I just think gameplay-wise, 06 kind of still falls into that same niche, basically. By the way, they aren't kidding, this fight is on a time limit. If you take too long, you will lose because of like the Earth crashing, or the Ark crashing into the Earth. It's like 5 minutes. And I think this is also a Shadow the Hedgehog problem, where it's like you have to wait till the end of the fight to hear all the dialogue. So there's like lore stuff that you can actually miss very easily if you don't run out the timer. Like Shadow the Hedgehog has a lore-relevant conversation that you need to wait 8 minutes to actually hear. Again, I think Shadow the Hedgehog has some very fascinating decisions, but as a game I definitely want to revisit on stream anyway. Just kind of go through all that, basically. Yeah, vibe-wise, the adventure games is also very different between 06 too. Like, the tone of the adventure games feels very different. Even though 06 was also meant as like a gritty attempt. Not gritty, but like, you know, more grounded take on Sonic. I might die here, I don't have any rings left, and I'm actually having issues with the lasers. By the way, there's a trick where if you go past the Bio-Lizard, you'll automatically switch to the other character. But their rings depend on how many rings you have when you switch sides. It's quirky. I don't know if I explained that well at all. Yeah, there was a way to force a switch, which is good. Yeah, 06 was meant to be a reboot, and then they had to reboot it again with Unleashed, which actually stuck the landing a lot better. And again, I'm an Unleashed defender of both versions. Again, at some point I would like to go through both. Compare and contrast what both do well and not as well. And yeah, just kind of hash out the differences between the two versions as someone who has played both and actually does have a lot of nostalgia for the Wii version. And actually also really likes the HD version too. That was a really smooth fight, actually. No complaints.
No way that's getting through!
Shadow,
I beg of you,
Maria!
give them a chance to be happy.
Now, Shadow! Chaos Control!
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Where is Shadow? Do you really think that the professor created him, Shadow, to carry out the revenge on all those who live here on Earth?
He was what he was. A brave and heroic hedgehog who gave his life to save this planet. Shadow the Hedgehog.
I guess you're right.
As a child, I looked up to my grandfather because of all the great things he accomplished in his life. He was my hero, and I wanted to be a great scientist like him. But did he really mean to destroy us?
I don't know, but what I do know is we all did it together.
You're right.
So what's next for you, Rouge? Off again to find those jewels you love so much?
Nah, I think I'm gonna give up this line of work. Too much work for too little pay. Anyway, I've got something better than jewels that I'm thinking about right now. It'll all work out, you'll see.
If you say so.
Created the ultimate life form.
What's the matter, Sonic?
Oh, it's nothing. Come on, let's go home. To the planet as cool and blue as me. Sayonara, Shadow the Hedgehog.
I can't believe Shadow died and is gone forever. We'll never return to this franchise. I listened to the last Dark level soundtrack and thought, huh, if I didn't know any better, I think Shadow was going to die in this game. And then he did. Yeah, Sonic 06 is lore-wise just a mess, because, like, nothing makes sense. Frankly, how the Chaos Emeralds are constantly getting passed around doesn't always make sense either, but, like, in this case at least, we have a logical explanation of, you know, there's nothing in between to be like, oh wait, Tails has the emerald all along, so there's no conflict there, which 06 does have. My biggest beef with the Sonic movies is I actually just think they shouldn't be doing this yet. I think they shouldn't be doing a Shadow storyline this early. I feel like Amy, because of everything in SA2, even if it's not one-to-one, I almost feel like an SA2 inspired or Shadow-centric story without Amy is going to be kind of interesting to pull off. So that's kind of my main wonder about this movie, is how are they going to handle Shadow's like turn to the good side if you don't have Amy. Just have one of the human characters, for example. That's what a lot of people say. But I always feel like not like if I was in charge of these movies, which I don't know if this would be the right call for as Amy says in chat, you know, marketability, because Shadow is one of the most popular characters. I would have gone with Metal Sonic and Amy for movie 3. And then save Shadow for, like, movie 4. But again, money. They want Shadow in this universe because he's literally like the most popular character, basically. And also, yeah, they did introduce Gun in the second movie, which is, yeah, very interesting to think about. I'm very curious to see how they integrate, like, the Gun Commander, given everything we've seen of him in the movies. Like, will they be able to overcome all the Olive Garden memes, for example? Yeah, Amy and Metal Sonic just don't sell, unfortunately, which is, like, my problem. And my favorite character in this franchise is Blaze, because she never gets anything. Well, fans, basically, will make fan projects with all these characters, but, you know, officially, there's not, like, merch of Blaze the Cat or anything. And in terms of, like, spin-offs, she's, like, very hit or miss on whether she actually shows up or not. It's not like a, you know, Rosalina situation where, you know, she's in every spin-off, which I personally would like, because someone who likes Blaze the Cat quite a bit, and that's, like, one of my favorite Sonic characters. I feel like a lot of times I speak really fast, and I don't know how intelligible the things I'm saying end up coming across. I'm realizing. Yeah, I do think Metal Sonic is a possibility down the road, but they just need Shadow to make money, basically. But again, just a personal preference thing, as I wish Amy had gotten introduced by this point, just because I think she'd be an interesting character to have in live action. Time to stream the Olympic Games. I should at some point. Those were interesting games, to be honest. I do have a lot of nostalgia for the first couple. I trailed off at the Wii U. But yeah, like, the first three, I'd say, like, 2008 to 2012, like those are the ones I played, and had a pretty good time with those. Anyway, that takes care of Sonic Adventure 2. Again, at some point, I might want to come back and finish up the, like, all the missions and everything on this file. There's a chance, or there's a possibility for Amy, people are seeing empty spots where another character could be. Yeah, that happens a lot with, like, CG characters. I know that was the thing with, like, Spider-Man No Way Home, where there's just, like, an empty spot because they didn't want to reveal a cameo, but you can see a character being punched by nothing because they had to edit out the character punching the character in question, or something weird like that. Yeah, everyone saw the SGF demo of Superstars and were like, why is there an awkward empty gap in the logo? So yeah, that makes sense. And Forces, yeah, I actually think the Avatar was a good idea. I just think they needed to do more with that character. Like, you can't even give the character a name in-game. Hi, Alan Mooch, thank you for the follow. We were just wrapping up, unfortunately. We just finished Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, thank you. And hello. And thank you, Roto, for the follow as well. Next stream will probably be Splatoon in a couple days. I don't know when it's gonna be, because I might be too tired tomorrow, but I would like to at least do some Splatfest coverage. Just because it's the final one. I want to see what it's like. I've been playing Splatoon for 10 years now, almost, so I want to be there for the final one. Next week, I don't know. I'm probably gonna try to stay with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday-ish schedule with some variants. And I don't know what I'm playing. I don't know if I want to jump straight into Shadow the Hedgehog or not, and burn out on Sonic. Yeah, it's the last, like, new Splatfest. Supposedly they're actually, like, rerunning older ones. But this is the Grand Festival, which is like the big parade. There's like a special like hub for it even. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is like the last really big one, unfortunately. Yeah, the one that will potentially affect Splatoon 4. I'm on Team Past, for the record, partly just because I like the Squid Sisters, to be honest. Though I like Off the Hook quite a bit too. I just didn't quite click with Team Presence sell as much. Yeah, for once I'm not supporting the Yuri option. It's very unusual for me, I know. Yeah, this was fun. I will consider coming back to this and doing some emblem collecting just for fun. Low key, probably chill streams. And I am like very tired. I definitely meant for this to be a short stream and then forgot enough upgrades, so we had to go and get those, and then the boss was challenging. So it definitely took longer than I thought. So I'm probably gonna rest. We can do a raid though, but first of all, thank you all for coming by, and thank you for all the support. Again, I said this last time, but I really appreciate everyone's, like, support. Again, when I started streaming, I wasn't entirely sure how well it would go over. I was kind of nervous about it because my voice, for one thing, because I've done, like, no voice training. And just, like, can I commentate a game well? Can I interact with chat while playing a game and everything? And this has been a lot of fun, though also a bit stressful at the same time, admittedly. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. I need to check something really quickly on here. So at this point we're at 35 followers, so that is definitely a lot more than I was expecting, and it does mean a lot to me that everyone is showing support, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, to be honest. I think I'm running out of steam. I didn't have a whole lot of steam going into this day, if I'm being honest, so again, I thought this would be a short stream, and yet here we are at 3 hours, so definitely running on empty a little bit, but I think we can do a raid. Yeah, I hope we can get emotes at some point. Again, I don't know what I'll do for emotes, like, I wouldn't be able to draw them myself, I don't think, at the moment, so I'd probably have to look at commissions or something, so that's gonna be fun, I suppose. I picture, like, the PayPal meme of people, like, doing a transaction and, like, not looking at the names, because that's basically what it'll be like. So yeah, I do really appreciate everyone stopping by, chatting, lurking, watching, all of it, as always. Well, yeah, source of plenty of impressive and cool artists. Yeah, no shortage in this community, which is very nice. One very good bonus of that. But yeah, I think we can do a raid. I have an idea for a raid message, but I don't know if we should go with it or not. And I'm wondering if chat has any ideas, or if I should say what cursed knowledge I'm considering right now. So yeah, it's been very fun trying to stream, trying to, you know, branch out a bit more, be more social, open up more. Take care, Finn. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we'll try to keep streaming at a fairly consistent schedule. Again, usually like 4 Pacific is probably my start time. Shadow died. See, the cursed raid message I had in mind was like, what was that earlier? Egg Golem top surgery or something like that? But I don't know if that's too cursed or not, or like, too out of context. Yeah, I'm definitely running out of steam here. So yeah, I don't know if we're starting, like, streaming tomorrow for the Splatfest Day 1. We might just start on Friday. Because I don't entirely need to completely destroy my voice, I guess. Yeah, that's the quote there. I don't know if we should use that as a raid message or not. I mean, I mean, wait, how does this work again? Again, it's almost like I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Let's see here. Following... Because I had someone in mind, because I saw someone go live earlier from the community as well. So... Today, we will be raiding AC. I think that started the raid. I hope. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that works for a raid message. So yeah, we can go with that for now. Can't believe Shadow's fucking dead. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Again, next stream is up in the air sometime this weekend for the Splatfest. Or you can say hacking if you want. Just some variation of I can't believe Shadow's dead. Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll be back very soon for more streaming. And again, I'd like to continue the Sonic series very soon too, with like Shadow, for example. Go through the Shadow heavy games minus Heroes, which I would normally like to go through. But I don't think I have enough time to get through that before Generations comes out, if I also want to do Shadow the Hedgehog, so I have to pick carefully. Again, Sonic Heroes is actually kind of a long game because you have to play it essentially 4 times, with how long the character stories are. They're all like a couple hours each. Yeah, I hope everyone has a good rest of their evening, and see ya later. Thank you so much.